Tucked away deep inside your brain, there's this tiny ancient structure that's basically your body's master controller. It manages almost everything you do, feel, and experience, from your heart rate to your emotions, and it does it all without you even thinking about it.
So, what happens when that intricate control center goes haywire? Well, the consequences can be pretty profound. We're talking about things that affect our growth, our metabolism, even our mental state. Let's dive in and find out.
All right, we're going to start at the very top of the command chain. Think of this as the CEO of your body's internal operations, the hypothalamus. So check out where this thing is. The hypothalamus is positioned almost perfectly in the center of the brain. And you can see why that prime real estate is so important, right? It lets it act as this crucial intersection, pulling in signals from all over the brain and the rest of your body.
Okay, so what's its main job? Well, its primary job is something called homeostasis. And really, all that means is it keeps your body in a just right state. It's all about maintaining a stable, constant internal environment no matter what's happening outside. It's literally the reason you shiver when you're cold and sweat when you're hot.
And listen to this. Its list of responsibilities is just staggering. Seriously, we're talking about regulating your heart rate, your blood pressure, body temperature, hunger, sleep cycles. It even converts emotions into physical responses. It is absolutely no exaggeration to call this tiny region a true master controller.
But, the hypothalamus doesn't work alone. Not at all. It forms this incredibly powerful partnership with the pituitary gland. And together, they create what's known as the hypothalamic-Pituitary Axis. And this axis, this is the true core of the body's entire command chain. And the physical connection between them is just fascinating. So the hypothalamus is linked to the pituitary by this little stalk, and it uses a special, almost private network of blood vessels to send its chemical messages. It's like having a direct high-speed data line, which means the signals get there super fast.
So the easiest way to picture this whole relationship, think of a company's leadership. The hypothalamus is the CEO, right? It sets the big picture strategy, then it gives these direct, very specific orders to its top manager. That's the pituitary gland, which then has to carry them out.
And what you get from this partnership is something called a hormone cascade. It's pretty cool. The hypothalamus releases a hormone. That tells the pituitary to release another hormone. Then that second hormone travels through the bloodstream to a target organ, say the thyroid or adrenal glands, and tells it what to do. It's this beautifully efficient chain of command. Okay, so you might be wondering, how does this incredibly powerful system know when to turn on? And maybe even more importantly, when to turn off? Well, the secret is a constant, delicate feedback loop. It's all managed by something called a negative feedback loop. And honestly, the best way to think about it is the thermostat in your house. When the room gets warm enough, that's the output you want, it sends a signal back to the furnace and tells it, hey, shut off. The body's hormone system works in exactly the same way. So when that target gland, way down at the end of the chain, releases its hormones, those hormones travel all the way back up and tell both the pituitary and the hypothalamus, okay, we've got enough, you can stop now. That's what we call long loop feedback. And there's even a short loop, where the pituitary's own hormones report back to the hypothalamus. It's like this constant self-correcting conversation happening inside you all the time. All right, now let's look at what happens when this delicate balance gets broken. And for our case study, we're going to pick one of the most powerful hormones in this whole system, growth hormone.
And the effects of a growth hormone imbalance are, well, they're stark. Too much of it in childhood leads to gigantism. Too little can result in dwarfism. And what if the excess happens in adulthood, after your bones have already fused? That causes a condition called acromegaly.
Yeah, the effects are just dramatic. The visual difference between too much, just right, and too little growth hormone is absolutely unmistakable. And the physical changes that come with acromegaly in adults, which happen really slowly over time, are especially telling. And the clinical signs are super specific. With acromegaly, you see an enlargement of soft tissues and bones, especially in the hands, feet, and face. It can also lead to things like diabetes. And since it's often caused by a pituitary tumor, the tumor itself can actually start to press on the optic nerves, which, causes vision problems. So after all that, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean? It's that the hypothalamic-pituitary axis is way more than just a chemical factory. It is the actual physical bridge between our mind and our body. And the source material really makes this link explicit. See, because the hypothalamus has all these neural connections to the rest of the brain, our psychological state, things like stress, can directly physically impact the hormones that get released by this entire system.
And that brings us to what might be the most important point of all. This system we've been talking about, it isn't just mechanical. It's the hardware that runs the software of our experiences. Your thoughts and your feelings are not separate from your body's basic functions. They are physically, chemically, and completely linked, right here in this axis.
So that leaves us with one last, really powerful question to think about. If your emotional state can literally dial the knobs on your body's master controller, then how important is managing your stress? It suggests it's not just some tool for feeling better. It might actually be one of the most fundamental levers we have for our long-term physical health.